Arc Raiders is a multiplayer extraction game that launched at the end of October, quickly becoming one of the biggest games of fall. Instead of player count sinking after the initial launch, Arc Raiders only continued to climb, with Nexon, the parent company of Embark Studios, reporting over 4 million units sold in under 2 weeks. And by mid-November, Arc Raiders wasn't just performing well, it was dominating the Steam charts, averaging around 400,000 concurrent players just on Steam alone. And during that time, something interesting happened. 2 weeks after launch, players started taking sides in an unofficial, community-driven faction war. So today, we're taking an in-depth look at Arc Raiders' launch, leading into a single, unplanned incident that turned into a hilarious community event. If you enjoy gaming deep dives such as this one, feel free to like the video. It helps let me know that I should keep digging into the fun and mysterious events around the gaming world. Starting with the launch of Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders went direct into a full launch on October 30th and was immediately well received by the community. It was praised for being highly polished, visually stunning, and a nice balance of tense yet still approachable gameplay. While trio mode tends to lean towards more of a PvP style, solo players can sneak their way around the map, but were often finding themselves teaming up with random players to complete quests, farm materials, or take on harder machines called arcs. Reviews were positive, word of mouth was strong, and perhaps most impressive of all, Arc Raiders is not a free-to-play game. But nobody could have predicted what would come next. The Faction Wars. About 2 weeks after launch, something unusual happened during a typical raid. A streamer was in the middle of a fight when he took cover around a wall to bandage before trying to execute a strategy that didn't quite go to plan. When things went south, he tried to negotiate before turning to pleading. He wasn't met with mercy, instead the player responded with, "This is for the bungulators," before eliminating the streamer. The clip spread fast and communities latched onto the joke, and within days, Arc Raiders had factions complete with unofficial uniforms. None of this, of course, was planned. The game has no official faction system, but that didn't stop players from improvising with their own. The community divided up into 3 different factions. One group wore the striker suit in red, while the other the torpedo suit in blue. A third group, remaining neutral, wore the origin outfit in blue. Not long after that, a faction started claiming territory. It became a North versus South, with an actual map circulating around online showing the divides of territory. Entire squads started lining up in matching uniforms, ready to defend imaginary borders. Clips started being shared of players and streamers declaring their faction, frontline battles, and even full motivational speeches. Then came the Battle of Speranza, a community-declared showdown that was scheduled on November 22nd, the final war. While it was clear one side had more numbers, no official winner was agreed upon. The war ended peacefully and balance was restored, allowing for territory lines to be crossed once again. But the final war actually served a secondary purpose. If you have a large community of people teaming up together, it had the potential to ruin the game. So it was made clear by the leading faction that they needed to start shooting each other once again in order to not kill the game. And at the end of the day, it was all in good fun, both sides later thanking everyone for joining in. The Perfect Storm. Arc Raiders is now a nominee for Best Multiplayer Game for the Game Awards, with even some arguing it should also have been nominated for Game of the Year. Strong support should come as no surprise as there's so many reviews that are coming in with high praise. You will see quotes calling the game a breath of fresh air, a masterpiece, and numerous mentions on the standout sound design. Add to that a strong, nearly bug-free launch, which can sometimes feel like a rarity these days, especially for a game that skipped early access. Arc Raiders also unintentionally created the perfect setup for a faction war. Not only are their outfits easy to spot, but easy to make unique with different styles, colors, and toggles, making it a little quicker to spot a teammate versus using the traditional "I'm friendly" wiggle. Add in proximity voice chat, and now we have taunting and even some roleplay, which is to be expected when you have faction streamers that have experience in Grand Theft Auto RP, or more recently with the OnlyFans WoW Hardcore Guild. Extraction shooters have been popular for years, but Arc Raiders hit a rare sweet spot between intensity and unpredictability. The faction war worked so well because the average player could join in. a joke you could participate in, declare your loyalties, then meet up on the front lines for battle. Arc Raiders concurrent players peaked on Steam the same day the faction war was declared, which may have just been a coincidence as the game was doing very solid before the back and forth banter. I don't doubt that the streamers and their communities played a part amping up the hype for this game, but the environment the devs created also allowed for those unique social interactions, and word of mouth was already quickly spreading. Even a month after launch, Arc Raiders still remains in Steam's top charts, even as a paid $40 game. It launched strong, grew even stronger, and continues to reign. With any game, the player base will eventually level out, but here's to hoping it remains amongst the top. And if you enjoyed this gaming deep dive, please feel free to subscribe. I have a newly created playlist dedicated to videos just like this one. And that is it. That is everything. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Hi, I'm Tiffy Miss Swiffy and welcome to my channel. Wait, what's wrong with my voice?
Hi, I'm Tiffy Miss Swiffy. Wait.
Ah, much better. It would seem I was just tired and in need of some caffeine. If you'd like to support a creator, check out my Ko-Fi page in the description below.